A family filled their minivan at a gas station in Arkansas. 73 miles later, their engine died on Interstate 40. When mechanics drained the fuel tank, they found green jello-like sludge covering everything. Microbial growth had spread through the entire fuel system. Every single injector was clogged, solid. The fuel tank needed professional cleaning just to be usable again. One $50 fill-up turned into a $2,300 repair bill. We all messed up. This wasn't some freak accident. Over 70% of gas stations across America are currently selling fuel that doesn't have enough detergent to keep your engine clean. And some brands? They're actively selling contaminated fuel so dangerous it destroys engines in a single tank. I'm going to show you which brands nearly destroyed a Ram 1500 with 400,000 miles on it, and reveal the 3 brands that actually saved it. In this video, we're going to uncover why most gas stations only meet the bare legal minimum fuel standards, the specific contamination patterns that mechanics see destroying engines every single week, and the exact 3 gas brands that will actually protect your engine for 400,000 miles and beyond. Because here's what the gas industry doesn't tell you. Top-tier certification exists for one very specific reason. It requires 2.5 times more detergent than EPA minimums. But only 19% of gas stations in America are actually top-tier certified. The other 81%, they meet the legal minimum. And legal minimum means exactly what it sounds like. The bare minimum required to not get shut down by regulators. When over 500,000 cars break down each year from carbon buildup alone, that minimum standard isn't protecting your engine, is slowly killing it. But some gas stations aren't just selling weak fuel. They're selling fuel so contaminated, the EPA had to physically shut them down. And you've probably filled up at one of them within the last month. Let's start with the contamination pattern that destroys the most engines every year. Water infiltration from warehouse gas stations. Warehouse clubs like Sam's Club and certain Costco competitors are built for one thing and one thing only: volume. When you're moving millions of gallons per week through your pumps, proper storage tank maintenance becomes virtually impossible. Here's exactly what happens. Underground storage tanks develop microscopic cracks over time. Groundwater seeps in through those cracks. The water separates from gasoline because they don't mix at a molecular level. Water is heavier, so it sinks straight to the bottom of the tank. And when the fuel pump draws from that tank, you're filling your car with contaminated fuel. A customer brought in an Explorer with only 42,000 miles on it, but it was running like it had 150,000. We drained the fuel. It was cloudy and smelled stale. The fuel filter looked like someone had filled it with coffee grounds. Classic water infiltration. But here's the real problem that most people don't understand. Water doesn't just dilute your fuel and reduce performance. It actively rushed your fuel system from the inside out. Fuel pumps corrode and fail. Injectors develop internal rust that can't be cleaned. And once rust starts forming inside these precision components, there's no cleaning it. You're replacing parts. So when you save 5 cents per gallon at a warehouse station that's not top-tier certified, you're literally gambling that their storage tanks are being maintained properly. And when you're moving that much volume, to maximize profit, maintenance always gets pushed aside. One bad tank of gas, and your entire fuel system becomes a ticking time bomb of corrosion. But water contamination is just the beginning. Because the next pattern is even more dangerous to your engine. The second contamination pattern destroying engines right now: inconsistent ethanol blends from convenience store chains. 7-Eleven doesn't refine their own fuel. They buy from whatever local supplier offers them the cheapest deal that particular week. One station location might have decent fuel. The next station just 5 miles down the road might destroy your engine. Last week, a Camry owner filled up at 7-Eleven. Within 10 miles, his engine was misfiring badly. We tested the fuel in his tank, 18% ethanol, when the pump clearly stated 10%. Why does that matter so much? Ethanol is a solvent. At 10% concentration, it's controlled and safe. At 18%, it starts dissolving the rubber seals throughout your entire fuel system. Fuel lines start leaking. O-rings fail prematurely. Injector seals deteriorate rapidly. But here's what makes this absolutely terrifying. You can't see it happening in real time. Your car runs fine for several weeks. Then suddenly, you're losing fuel pressure. The check engine light appears on your dashboard, and by the time you actually notice the symptoms, the damage is already permanent and expensive. In 2019, state inspectors shut down multiple 7-Eleven pumps after finding severely off-spec fuel. But by then, dozens of vehicles were already damaged and facing expensive repairs. So the convenience of filling up at 7-Eleven comes with zero quality control. You're not buying consistent fuel. You're buying whatever they negotiated the cheapest deal on this particular week. And when your fuel system depends on precise ethanol percentages to function properly, whatever's cheapest becomes a $3,000 repair bill. But if you think inconsistent blends are bad, what I'm about to show you is literally criminal. The third pattern, and this one is fully documented by the EPA. Companies caught selling industrial waste fuel disguised as regular gasoline. This isn't speculation or theory. According to actual EPA case files, companies like Lam Fuels were formally accused of blending hazardous waste directly into fuel to cut costs, then selling it to completely unsuspecting gas stations. We're not talking about weak detergents anymore. We're talking about fuel literally laced with used motor oil, industrial solvents, and chemical byproducts from industrial waste facilities. Worst case I ever personally saw in my career. A family filled up at a station that had unknowingly bought this contaminated fuel. They drove exactly 31 miles before the engine seized completely solid. The fuel had actually dissolved the engine oil. When we tore down that engine to inspect the damage, it was nothing but scrap metal. Melted fuel injectors. Completely destroyed catalytic converter. Pistons soared beyond any possible repair. $7,000 for a replacement engine. All from one tank of poison. And here's the most terrifying part of this entire situation. Most drivers never even knew what hit them. They filled up normally, the car started knocking or smoking within days, and the engine was completely dead. These aren't just businesses cutting corners to save money. These are criminal operations that knowingly put profit over people's safety. And they're selling this fuel to stations you drive past every single day. But here's what changed everything for me personally. I started testing what happens when you do the exact opposite. What happens when you only use fuel that's actually engineered to clean your engine while you drive. My Ram 1500, original Hemi engine, 400,000 miles on the odometer, never rebuilt once. For 400,000 miles, I only used 3 specific gas brands. When we finally tore it down for complete inspection, mechanics couldn't believe what they were seeing. Valves looked factory fresh. Pistons were clean. Original fuel injectors were still flowing perfectly. The engine looked like it had 50,000 miles inside, not 400,000. 3 brands, all top-tier certified, all with detergent packages that actually clean existing carbon deposits instead of just preventing new ones. Number 3. Costco gasoline. Most people automatically think warehouse gas means cheap and low quality. But Costco completely flips that assumption. They're fully top-tier certified. Independent laboratory tests consistently show Costco gas often has more cleaning additives than Chevron or Shell. And here's their secret. They move so much fuel that it's always fresh. They turn over their entire tank inventory every 24 to 48 hours. No stale fuel sitting in tanks. Monthly tank inspections. Aerospace-grade filtration systems. Automatic contamination detection. Customer, with 315,000 miles on a 4Runner. Exclusively Costco gas for 10 years straight. We tore down the engine for a head gasket replacement. The internals looked better than most 100,000-mile engines I see. No deposits anywhere. Original injectors. Perfect compression. Number 2. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus. Shell's nitrogen-enriched formula doesn't just prevent carbon buildup. It forms a protective barrier inside your engine that actively repels deposits from forming. The molecular technology bonds directly with metal surfaces. Carbon can't stick. Gunk can't accumulate. Customer with a Lexus IS 350. 195,000 miles of nothing but Shell. When we opened it up, engine internals looked factory fresh. Original injectors never cleaned once, still flowing perfect. Compression test showed numbers like a brand new engine. And number 1. Chevron with Techron. Techron isn't just marketing hype. It's polyethylene compounds at 3 to 4 times EPA minimums. It actively scrubs carbon off valves, pistons, and injectors while you drive. Honda Accord with 280,000 miles. All Chevron gas. When we did the valve adjustment, I was genuinely shocked. Spotless valves. Clean pistons. Injectors flowing perfectly. It looked like a 50,000-mile engine inside. So here's your choice. Keep gambling with discount gas and pay thousands later, or spend 10 cents more per gallon and actually protect your engine. That family in Arkansas with the green sludge, they saved $400 over 2 years on cheap gas. Their repair bill was $2,300. One fill-up erased 2 years of savings. The question isn't whether you can afford good gas, it's whether you can afford not to use it.